You see, everybody wants to get married in the church. Everybody wants to get married in the church, but it's not everybody that know the various guidelines of the church they want to get married. So even if you're planning to get married in the next few months or next few years, in the nearest future, you don't know the guidelines to follow. If you want to get married in your church, there are various guidelines different churches go through. Yes, there are basics across all the churches, but it varies as you go through the churches. So in this video, I'm going to be diving into the various guidelines in different churches if you want to get married in any of these churches. I'm going to be focusing more on four churches in Nigeria. I'm going to be focusing on Anglican. I'm going to be focusing on Redeemed Christian Church of God. I'm going to be focusing on Christ Embassy. And finally, I'm going to be focusing on Deeper Life Bible Church. So if you're planning to get married in the nearest future and you want to know the guidelines in these churches, stay with me. Watch to the end. And if you want a church in particular you can skip, you can follow the timestamp in the video and skip to them. I just hope this video helped you. Apart from showing you their guidelines, I'm going to tell you the duration and what you need to pay for. So this video is actually for those that are planning to get married in the church, in a Nigerian church. So stay with me if that person is you. So all these churches, despite their differences, they all have some basic guidelines that you have to follow. So I'm going to go through the basic guidelines that runs across all these churches first. And number one is that you must be a Christian. That's number one. You must be a Christian, and either of the man or the lady that wants to get married must be affiliated with that church. You don't necessarily have to be a member. Your parents might be members, your aunts or uncles can be members, and you're good to go. Though not all the churches accept that. Some actually requires you to be a member of their church. Some even requires you to be a worker. At least one of you should be a worker in their church. So that's number one. Number two that you have to follow, you inform your pastor. Inform your pastor or the vicar that you're planning to get married. So that's number two. You inform them and probably introduce your spouse, your supposed spouse, to them. Then number three, you have to go through a premarital counseling. Yeah, some people might want to skip the premarital counseling part. We know each other already. No, the premarital counseling actually helps. Very, very important. It helps. And some churches frowns at it if you dare try to skip it, because it helps eventually in your marriage, not for the wedding alone, but in your marriage. Number four, basic steps that brings all these people together, that runs across all these churches, is that they require you to go through magistrates. So they expect you to take yourselves to the magistrates and get legally binded. Then you will take back the certificate to the church, and there you're ready to be wedded together. So those are the basic steps that is needed across all the churches. Now let's go into different churches and see how they vary from each other. I've chosen these churches because I know they represent majority of all the churches that we have in Nigeria. So let's go. Yeah, number one, Anglican Communion. Yes, if you are planning to get married in Anglican, these are the various steps. These are the guidelines that you need to follow to get married in Anglican church. Number one, you have to send a formal letter of intent to the vicar. So either you or your spouse or your parents send a formal letter to the vicar that you're planning to get married in their church. So after sending this letter, the vicar will read and either accept or reject based on your affiliation with the church. And number two, you have to go through a mandatory counseling. Like I said, all of them requires that you go through a marriage counseling course. So you have to go through a mandatory counseling, approximately 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months counseling. Then after that, they will post bans across branches that, okay, these people want to get married to each other. If there's any skeleton in their cupboard and you know of it, come out and tell us so that we don't join them together. Before you decide to get married in a church, make sure you don't have any skeleton in your cupboard. Make sure. And number 4, they will now send you to the magistrate. Get legally binded. Most of the time, they can do it in the church for you. Get legally binded in the church. So Anglican can do that in the church. You don't have to go to the magistrate. And finally, they will now do the wedding service for you. They will do the wedding service for you. So that's for Anglican. Very simple. Maximum 2 to 3 months counseling and you are done. Number 2 is Redeemed Christian Church of God. The Redeemed Christian Church of God. So for RCCG, the first thing you have to do is a letter from the groom's parish. A letter from the groom's parish will be sent to the bride's parish or to the parish where you guys want to have the wedding. So a pastor or a leader in the groom's parish will send a letter to the church where you want to do the wedding. Most of the time is always the bride's parish. So after that, you go through a mandatory marriage counseling. This one is between 3 to 6 months. You see, Anglican zone was 2 to 3 months, but this one is 3 to 6 months. Then you go through the court marriage certificate. They'll ask you to go to the magistrates to get legally binded after the marriage counseling. Then you bring it back to the church. That is necessary before the church wedding, very required. Then they will also post bans. They will send public notifications that you guys want to get married to each other. If there's any skeleton in your cupboard, people should come out and expose you. Don't have skeleton in your cupboard. If you want to get married in the church, do not. Then after that, they will now do the wedding proper. They will do the wedding properly. So that's RCCG. Maximum duration 3 to 6 months. You're done. That's for the marriage counseling. So if you want to, maximum 8 months. 8 months. So start planning. If you want to get married around August, you start the preparation from like January. That's if you want to get married in RCCG. Number 3 is Christ Embassy. Christ Embassy. For Christ Embassy, it's a bit different from the first two, because the first thing you have to get is a spiritual clearance. You get a spiritual clearance from your local pastor, from your local church, and from the central ministry. So they have to clear, for them, they require you to be a member of their church. You have to be a member of their church before you get wedded in their church. So you get a spiritual clearance from your local church and from the central church. That's number 1. That's the requirement. And number 2, you have to go through a mandatory marriage school. Yes, that's what they call it, a marriage school. And they frown at it if you skip those marriage schools. It is very important. You go through marriage school. Then after that, you go through the courts proceedings, court marriage, and get legally binded. That one is also required before the wedding. After that, you do the family introduction and rites. Family introduction and traditional rites. So you guys will get introduced to each other. The families will get introduced to each other, and you do the traditional ceremony. After that, they will now do the wedding service. So to get married in Christ Embassy, you need like maximum 6 months. 6 months. You're good to go. And now, finally, Deeper Life Bible Church. For Deeper Life Bible Church, it's very, very different as you expected. The first thing that you have to do, it is advised that you don't propose to the lady first before talking to your pastor. So the first thing that you do if you want to get married is that you inform your pastor, not the lady. So the pastor, after praying, will send you to the marriage committee. Then the marriage committee will tell you to go for medical checkup. Medical checkup, they will check your genotype, your phenotype, they will check all those things. If you're HIV positive, all those things, they will check that. And it will be sent back to the church. So then you will give them the name of the lady that you want to get married to. They will ask her also to go for a medical checkup to check you guys if you guys are compatible medically. So after that, that's when you are allowed to propose. You should understand what they're trying to avoid there. So when you propose and the lady says yes, then you do the family introduction. They call it parental consent. So the guy will go to the lady's house. They will go and do parental consent. I want to get married to your daughter. And they will accept. When they accept, the lady and her family will come to the guy's family to introduce herself. So that's parental consent. After this, you go into courtship and marriage counseling. Courtship and marriage counseling, approximately 6 to 9 months based on your preference. It is minimum of 5 months, 5-6 months. But if you want to extend it, 9 months and maximally 12 months, because they expect you to get married immediately you're completing that courtship and the marriage counseling. You're expected to get married. So there's nothing like I proposed and 2-3 years we're not married yet. Nothing like that. So after the mandatory courtship, you guys are expected to go to the magistrates to get legally binded. Then bring back the certificate to the church. Then you go through your marriage, wedding rehearsals, and they do the wedding properly. So those are the steps in various churches. And now let's go through the durations and what is free and what you have to pay for. For Anglican, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 months. The fees, you pay for forms, you pay for the medicals, and you pay for administration. I don't know the exact amount. For RCCG, the duration is 3 to 6 months. Counseling is often free. Then you pay for administration and the facility, the church that you're using. For Christ Embassy, it varies. Most of the time, the marriage course is often free for members because they require you to be a member. It's often free. For Deeper Life, the duration is 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, maximum 12 months, like I mentioned. Counseling is often free. The costs is time and commitment. And you also pay for the program sheet, the program booklets at your wedding that you're going to print out for people. So let me know, what do you think? Have I gone through the steps correctly, or what other church that you want me to focus on in the next video? If you've followed us up to this point, I know you enjoyed it, so please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Subscription is for free. That's how you can help me to keep making this video. Thank you and have a blessed day.